Oh, didn't see you there. Hello, Exile right here. Official ambassador of the Sanctum Runners Union. Are you looking to join up? What's that? You want a taste of early riches in the upcoming Legacy of Phrecia event? Well, my friend, you can do all that with the Penance brand Surf Blaster. Take a seat. I'll explain. Having up to 10 times or even more raw currency in the early league than the average player, that allows you to jumpstart your endgame build or invest in items that highly appreciate in value as the league goes on. With Sanctum, you can boost your early economy unlike with any other mechanic. Alright, this guide is for you if you can finish the campaign decently fast. You can delay the gratification of playing this new event, new classes and a new mapping system. You already know the Sanctum mechanic, or you're willing to learn as you go. Warning, Sanctum varies highly between great rewards and soul-crushing punishment. If you and your build are not able to complete the Sanctum, you will waste your time and your entry fee, and you will get little in rewards. Before I start, this guide is inspired by two other content creators. First, Captain Lance, who has made many videos on Sanctum in general and on this build in particular. And also Kua, who min-maxed the Surfcaster build to absolute perfection. Links are in the description below, make sure to check them out. Okay, let's get into the build. We will abuse Self-Ignite with the Eye of Innocence amulet and 2 Moko's Embrace rings. Added fire damage to spells from an Abyss Jewel is a reliable way to ignite enemies, and through the unique item combination, ignite ourselves. And while we are ignited, not only do we get up to 70% increased damage, but also up to 40% cast speed on each ring, and those rings can be improved with catalysts, but also attack speed, and attack speed helps us get around the Sanctum faster. This stacks nicely with the bonuses from the Ghost of the Deep Ascendancy node, and we are also making use of the second Ascendancy, Stormy Seas, converting our lightning damage to cold and also applying shock. We combine this with the unique Bitter Dream, effectively getting a 9 link on our Penance brand of Dissipation setup, and that will be best in slot until much later with a Power Charge stacking setup. We want to prioritize obtaining Heat Shiver as soon as we can afford it. It is a pricey item early, but the damage is well worth the cost. Apart from those items, early on you want to equip Volt's Protector, gives you power charges and also Inner Conviction, which is more spell damage for the power charges you have. Then for gloves, Voidbringer gives you crit, +1 for your elemental auras. If you cannot find these or they're too expensive, you can use Shadows and Dusk. For the boots, you want to get March of the Legion for your blessing, which you don't need minions for if you have these boots, and they give you also a +3 to the origin. If you can't find these, then Mute Wind Whisper Steps is a cheap alternative. Or you can equip Legacy of Fury yourself before you have a Animate Guardian. The Ghastly Theater Shield is a very nice defensive option. It makes you bleed immune, it blinds nearby enemies, and you get a physical damage shield. For the skills, Penance brand with Conk Effect and Fist of Lightning, socketed in your Bitter Dream. For the campaign, you want to have Shield Charge, but in the Sanctum it's important not to get stuck on little pebbles and corners, so that's why Leap Slam is best. And the other movement skill is of course Flame Dash, which you can socket anywhere. This is a low life build, so you want to reserve close to just below 50%, and you do this with an Arrogance support, Precision, Vitality, and a Clarity, and the Clarity is just to put you under 50%, and you can level and de-level it according to your needs. Lastly, Zealotry I put on. Once you have your Animate Guardian solved with Guthkuld's Pelt, you can use that instead here, with a Meat Shield support as well. Speaking of which, Animate Guardian is a great option to increase damage. However, you need to make sure that he survives. If you put a Guthkuld's Pelt on him, the region will keep him alive forever, especially in Sanctum where he's not really supposed to tank anything with Meat Shield. And you give him Lair Cast, Dying Breath, and Legacy of Fury. That gives him 86% increased damage to you, and you also get the Scourge, which is minus 10% resistances. Use Automation, Convocation to keep your minions alive, and later on you can also add Spectres to take over your auras. For example, Perfect Pain Artists give you a Zealotry, and also on top 30% increased crit multi. Now in the link POB you can find all the details for each stage of progression, from the very early acts all the way through the super high budget version. Also, I did a test run on Assassin that mimics this build. A lot of this you can find on my channel. I prefer to mule a Witch for Arcane Surge and Rolling Magma. You can use Stormblast Mines if you prefer a simpler transition. Run either of the two skills until Merwell, and then you use Lightning Trap. You get the full shield charge setup going ASAP. Linked with momentum and fast attacks, you will zoom through all the content, and the first Ascendancy, Ghost of the Deep, has insane value for it as well. You get increased attack speed and movement speed, so this double dips and is basically like the permanent old slot that we used to have. In Act 2, grab Herald of Lightning and summon Skitterbots. Also, grab Assassin's Mark and help Alira. This is a full unique build and you will struggle early on with resistances. Act 3. Use Elemental Weakness until the swap to Ice Trap later. Try to find a 4 green socket item. Any item's fine, preferably not on the boots, because you want to upgrade those with movement speed. Ice Trap is available for 1-up of Alchemy after killing Gravicious. Charge Traps requires the Library quest. Before, you can use Trap and Mine support from Act 2. Replace Herald of Thunder for Grace after the swap. Act 4, you just take the summon Stone Golem as a quest reward. Now going forward, switch to Assassin's Mark and path toward Eldritch Battery. Even on low energy shield, this is a very useful node that helps solve your mana problems. Once you have it and you have enough energy shield, also buy Flesh and Stone as another defensive aura. This build has damage enough, but defense lacks a bit in the later acts and in the Labyrinth. Benchcraft whatever resistances are needed. It's a good idea to respec at lower levels using Faustus, because his gold fees are cheap early, but they scale up into very high prices that you can't afford many of. I put recommended changes in the act sections. Do not kill Kitava. Finish all skill point quests and then jump straight into heist. Heist is simply the best way to make currency when your character comes straight from the campaign, held together by shoestring spit and benchcrafts and whatnot. Now, demolition and lockpicking contracts are best for finding raw chaos. Make sure to check the vendor for contracts with every level up. Heist yields many jewelry items as well, so you can supplement your income with a chaos recipe. Buy Penance brand of Dissipation and all core items for the initial Sanctum swap. And then it's time to grab some levels for the Penance brand as well as your character. You need at least a level 17 Penance brand to start Sanctum comfortably. I recommend level 18, but if you have luck, you can even reach level 19 in just 2 runs. The Divine Font also offers quality. Put that on your Penance brand, but you can also use it on board gems like Momentum or faster attacks. And with all that, finally time to blast. Good luck everybody, and whatever you do, don't get hit. The full POB with notes and sections, as well as the code for the Better Trading browser extension, is in the description. If you enjoyed this guide, then please leave me a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe if you want to see more. Also, let me know if you'd like to see a guide for the progression and the endgame versions. Lastly, I will stream the event live on Twitch. Come by and say hello. Oh, and one last thing. Long live the SRU and the ASA.